Hello and welcome back to Thirst Time. In today's episode, I will be sharing my experience of watching the film by Andrew Hay, All of Us Strangers. This film is adapted from a novel from a Japanese author. However, Andrew Hay wrote this film, so I guess he did the screenplay. I did not read too much into it, but I just somehow knew that it would be a film that I could like. I think it was because there were gay themes there. Going into this film, I thought it was about a son needing acceptance from his parents and how their attitudes affects his inner psychology, and how the discomfort in the family or social circles could relate to and cause discomfort with himself and be a preventing factor in having a fulfilling relationship, or a relationship that is not going to be sabotaged. I guess that, would deal with feelings of shame and all that. So I thought there's going to be something in there that's going to be relatable. But went into the film, and it's not really about that at all. I mean, it touches on a lot of those things, but it's so much more than that. It's the sort of film where you have to suspend yourself from reality. There is life and fantasy, there's reality and truth, but it gets blended together, and sometimes you're not too sure, and I believe it's intentionally, whether this really happened in the story's reality or whether it was a fantasy. Yeah, it's blended together, and I really believe that you're not meant to have it spelled out. That was just a dream. This actually happened with that character. It's because you are going into the subjective world of the main character, whose reality and fantasy are blending together. So it's all intermelded together to a point that it doesn't matter whether it really happened or not. It's happening in the main character's reality. So that was very smart and very craftful. And Andrew Hay, very careful, very intentional. Even down to the choice of characters. You had characters that were very charming, but weren't necessarily always conventionally good looking. There was a realness to the characters. And also some really bizarre craftfulness, like the colors of the props and the settings and the scenes seemed so real and everyday. It wasn't, for example, romanticized or glamorized like a Wes Anderson film that is really on point and creating a vibe. Somehow Andrew Hayes makes it feel real and relatable, just like everyday colors, but yet somehow they're really vivid. So there's something in the colors that blended that line that felt real and relatable, but also surreal and vivid. And that was quite amazing in a very, very subtle way. It was. Andrew Hay is a master at creating atmosphere. There was lots of music that created tension, music that created an eeriness and scenes and moments of silence. He's a master of atmospheric cinema, without a doubt. Now, I don't really want to go through the synopsis or the plot to explain what happens. I think it's just worth seeing it for yourself. But what I will say is this is a film, it's quite an indulgent romantic film. It's about all the things we wish we could have said if it either wasn't too late or we had the guts. So it's all those, the film is made up of all those intimate, vulnerable conversations that two people can have. The main character with his parents, the main character with the first potential partner of his life. There was no everyday social chit chat, the formalities of everyday life. It was really deep and meaningful all the way through. So really, it's a lovely, indulgent film, and it's created, I guess, in a safe space where you would. I guess I'll give a small clue from the beginning of the film. The main character is a writer, so he's writing. So in a way, he's the narrator of his reality, and so in his reality, he is having these conversations that matter a lot to him. So I guess in some ways, he's very much in touch with his turmoil and his emotional struggle, and it feels like that's where all of his energy is. That's what his energy is and what drives him through. The main character is shut off from reality, shut off from the present moment. He is living with the ghosts of his past, and that obviously makes him quite lonely. And I think this film's really about that. I think it looks at art, the intersection where art and loneliness lie, but also the intersection where loneliness and homosexuality lie as well. To be creative and to observe and reconstruct what is around you, i.e., to produce art, You have to come from a place of stepping outside, being the observer, having that calm, shutting yourself off. And the main character isn't creative, and therefore he's in his lonely zone. But he also touches on, for older generations, with being gay, because you might, the ones closest to your family and society have a bit of, I guess, disgust and disdain with regards to who you have, some people would say, chosen to be, or the lifestyle you have chosen to go for to live authentically, creates disgust. And therefore, that person who is doing that, the gay person, is going to feel a bit of confusion, I guess, because on one level you've got these feelings, on the other level it's actually seen as this by people that matter to you. Therefore, it can have a negative impact on your relationships, and you might not really go. You might just go for that quick fix to see you through of some form of gratification. But in terms of anything long-lasting and genuine and natural and comfortable, you might be uncomfortable with, because you are reproducing or taking on and holding on to those feelings that you received from people that matter to you when you come out as gay. So I think there is a good argument there about why gay people might suffer more with loneliness than others. For sure, they're not going to have children to hold their relationships together as much. I know nowadays anything is, in inverted commas, possible, but two men still can't make a baby. But anyway, so let's just say it's less likely for gay people to become parents. So you're not going to have that structure, that bond of the family unit to hold you together, which is not, anyone's fault. That's the way nature is. You can't blame society for everything. But putting that aside, for other reasons of shame that gay people have to confront, that would be a huge contributing factor for being alone. So that was fantastic. I thought it was not the main theme of the story, but it was an undercurrent theme. It was in there as part of the conversations, which was good. It made the tapestry richer. And then the ending of the film, it's just got this scene, and I'm just like, this visually is gorgeous. It's this beautiful scene, and then I'm loving it, feasting my eyes, and then I'm guessing Andrew Hay loves it too, because he fixes on this. And there's just this very slow zooming out until, and everything around them is completely dark, until there's just this tiny little flicker of light staying alight. And then it zooms so far out like you're in space, and then there's just one or two or three little other lights, like a little constellation. And I thought that was super deep and profound. I thought it was basically a metaphor of life. That light might be two souls coming together, or that connection of love. And in the vast universe, there's so much space out there, but there's only so many of those lights, and that they look so lonely and desolate on their own, which is why people need people, or we need love. I shouldn't say people need people, I'll just say we need love. The fact that there was like just another couple of lights and flickers made me think that this is a metaphor for the universe, for life, and I found that super profound. I'm guessing if you've stumbled upon this channel, if you haven't seen the videos before, you've probably watched the film, or you're thinking to see it. Interested to hear your thoughts. And yeah, thanks for watching. Maybe stay tuned, and hopefully I'll see you in the next video. Bye.